These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
As Peanut comes over.
Yeah. This is what Zyra does. 3-minute clear, and I'm in your bot lane. Hello. And Peanut, a very good opportunity to get a very clean dive off. They want to go for Hanwha as Cleanse and Flash come out. They exhaust, and the stun is not quite going to land. They have the damage finally, but it's First Blood that does go to Rel. As meanwhile, in the mid lane, Zeka trying to trade here against Closer, and one auto will do it. Zeka gets the win, picks up the solo kill in mid.
Relevant in a 1v1, whereas Closer's is not.
That's the ult to come down. Clear in a bit of trouble here. Some poke coming down. The electrocute also going to land, and Clear is trying to back under his own turret, just getting Aurora'd. Meanwhile, Peanut's here.
Hanwha is so far behind in farm. He cannot die here. Zeka's roaming.
Yeah, this is a 4v2, and there's no cleanse, no flash for Hanwha. Delight goes in. It's just the easiest gank of all time. Delight is overcommitting to this. Just saying, okay, I'm not going to get out, but I don't really care because we're going to take the win anyway. Peanut very low, but it's a double kill to Zeka Zeri in the bottom lane.
It's certified, Valdez. Here we are. And yeah, he'll take a small CS deficit in mid, but look at Doran TPing in to actually catch a significant amount of this wave here. It's not even that much lost on the map. Look at where the wave is topside. He's going to come up here now. He will interact with Raptor. Does have level 6, so has to be very cautious about how he wants to fight this one out.
It's generally not a good feeling. And this time, Peanut, you know, he was on the bottom side of the map. He wasn't diving, though, so it's just more pressure. And he's just going to pick up an early Ocean Drake, which is quite good as well, just to continue with, you know, the extra sustain for all of the lanes so that they can feel very good about putting on even more pressure.
Significant later on if they can get some time alone in the side, but that is right now not looking like it's going to be happening anytime soon, but could be huge for Closer if he's given some additional time or if they end up getting a Baron later on. There's ulted.
Yep, and you're going to be stuck in that for a while. He goes forward as he has his whole team nearby. The exhaust comes down from Delight as they were just trying to take a 2v1, and they're like, oh, you're all here.
So they got an additional plate in mid during all of this as well. And now they're just going to say, we're getting Dragon and Herald. Sorry, BNK.
Yeah, just get it for free, and then BNK try to take fights afterwards because they're just not going to have the raw damage to chop through that.
Yeah, those stats are always going to be relevant, basically, in every comp. Some comps better than others, but still, okay, they do have the cannon flank.
Well, they're going to catch Leona. And here comes the cannon flank. Viper in a really rough spot, but now he's just going to die, but the rest of his team is just going to kill everybody else. He's like, okay, I did my damage, and yes, I'm Jin, I can't quite get away, but who cares? We got the Rift Heralds, and we're going to win the fight. They're looking for more. They try to get Clear. Clear is going to actually hand the kill over to Closer, but now Closer in a bit of trouble. Zeka flashing in. He wants another one. He's not going to have it, but it's still a big one fight by Hanwha Life esports.
And unfortunately, the cannon flank wasn't really well timed with Duro's engaged.
So I think it is really a big deal as Cleanse immediately comes out here. Hanwha, man, he's just trying to get away from all of these shots. He is going to avoid the fourth one, but man, he hasn't had a fun time because, you know, if you're allowing Peanut to pick up Zyra and just run the bot lane and essentially win the early game for you, the enemy jungler is just going to look so useless.
And they know where the cannon is. They push that mid wave through. Clear has to clear it. No pun intended. And Hanwha Life are like, cool, your rat's away. We're taking down the dragon. Raptor's rooted.
He's getting stunned up. I mean, he doesn't get to play the game. He's just 100-0'd right in front of everybody. And down he will go, even the Aurora ult just for good measure. And Hanwha once again left alone, nothing he can do. It's a third kill for Hanwha Life esports. This is one of the cleanest games I've seen Hanwha play. And they are just being ruthless here in their victory. It will be a third Drake to them.
Yeah, Soul Point, huge team fight win. And they didn't even need the team fight win.
A little bit eyebrow raising was the one where they lost to KT, but even Gen G lost to KT, as now they're going to go in, they're forced to, and Zeka is just tanking the MF ult. He doesn't care. And he will live for now, although the entire team is chasing him. And now he's going to sail the wall. He gets away, and the rest of his team makes his way over, and they're just going to absolutely demolish the rest of BNK. Clear is still chasing Zeka, still looking for the angle, but the fight's already over. And Zeka got away scot-free.
In their options. I don't even blame Duro for the attempt, because if you see an opportunity to lock down a Zeri like that, you go for it. And that's maybe your one way back into the game. It's a huge bounty that would have picked up 1,000 gold.
3 or 4 layers. He's just kind of in a great spot.
He's getting
now.
preserved, Valdez,
Yeah.
for the late game that I don't know if we're really going to get to him. We're 25 minutes in. Maybe this is the late game when the Zeri is already on 3 items. We've just kind of jumped through the mid game and now we're here.
Yeah. Keep in mind, you certified the Zeri moments like 9 minutes into the game, and he was 3-0. So, you know, besides Peanut's carry from the jungle, besides Delight setting up a lot of plays, it was also Zeka all over the map and getting a solo kill as well. Doran's going to throw an ult down and, well, not hit anyone, but he zones them away from Mountain Soul, so that's still valuable.
Yeah. And just going to tank this turret because they don't care.
Yeah.
And Baron buff just going to allow them to stack this wave here in mid. They're looking for the first inhibitor turret. Peanut has a wave coming bottom as well.
You see that the Jhin with Mountain Soul and plated steel caps is 116 armor.
Okay,
The
so
Jhin.
yeah, that's kind of a problem. I was going to mention the plated steel caps earlier. And so maybe a premonition. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
all this armor." If the Kennen can't TP flank, maybe he can take the long way around. He's pulling a pull bay.
Yeah,
but he's
still
rethrowing
flanking
now.
to this day. Pull bay, that is. And I guess Clear in this game, who has come back, he has stopped flanking, and Zeka's just going to ult them and say, well, you can't really get away, so I'm just going to shoot you. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say, guys. This game has been kind of a done deal for a while, and it looks like Hanwha Life esports are finally putting an end to it after they get the Baron, as well, Duro, he was there, I swear. I think he was, as finally Clear gets in. Peanut will actually die to the last turret shot, as the BNK stance is actually not half bad, but now they're going to get ulted by Doran, and everybody's just getting shot down by the Jhin, as Viper will clean it up, and that will be an extremely clean first game victory going the way of Hanwha Life esports. Yeah, it's very strong, especially if you have a bottom lane that you can pick Poppy into. You know, like if they pick up Kalista Renata or something, you're not playing Poppy.
Still going to beat Grubs, going the way of BNK, so a small victory here could have been bigger. Perhaps if Closer's ultimate does connect there, they get a flash out of Delight. They get these Grubs. Technically, you know, in air quotes, win the fight. So, small boon for them as bottom side here. Viper's not really ready to fight, but Peanut is. He's going to come over here and try to steal this red buff away, kind of smite this for the steal.
Yeah, and Peanut, oh, wow, Henna's going to go in on that, and Peanut now in a really awkward spot. He's got Delight nearby, as Henna did flash in for that one. Peanut pushed away from the fight, though.
Now just clearing top side, so eventually you would imagine BNK will commit.
Yeah. It's the one thing with, well, we're going to have to hold that thought as Peanut comes over with Daisy. Remember, Clear does not have his flash, and there's really nowhere for him to go. He's so far down the lane. The knockup is going to miss from the Cassante, and Daisy's just a little bit too far out. Meanwhile, we got a fight down on the bottom side. Raptor is going to hit the minions with that one, so is still going to send this leap in onto Delight, and here comes a bunch of damage into him, but he's Poppy, and Mom is going to help out in the trade as well for Viper. Duro will taxi onto the minion, but so many low health bars here on the side of BNK, they will have to back away from this one.
Tanky. Yeah. Viper gets a bunch of stacks off of the exchange as well, and Closer's in trouble.
Oh man, the big one gonna come in. The flash auto from Zeka is clean, and he picks up not a solo kill this time, but it's another mid-win for him.
She should have been. This time, Smolder doesn't have any kills, but he's feeling good about the game state.
Oh, that's a nice knock back on a Zeka, but there's just no follow-up. So, knockup from Daisy, and now Duro, he's not level 6. He's actually pretty squishy, and he doesn't have his flash. He's just free food for the side of Hanwha Life esports, and they will take that happily.
Being forced to flash by Henna moments ago, they still are never able to grab control of this dragon. Viper is getting plate gold in the bottom lane, and he is just stacking. He is just vibing. He has 86 stacks here at 11 minutes. Pretty good pace. It's just a big Smolder problem that I don't know if it's going to be solved soon.
Knock away from the Alistair. Now Henna is alone, and a bunch of damage is going to be put into him. He is going to eventually go down. He does use his barrier, but doesn't even bother to flash. As, again, it's just another kill onto the Poppy this time around, and it's more wins for Hanwha Life esports.
2 kills on the Corki, another win in the bottom lane. No reprieve, and then Delight just Keeper's verdicts. And that means Henna is all owned.
We got an all out in the top lane, but Doran immediately is going to see Henna here. Dodges the missile, and now Knockup's going to come down onto Henna, kind of in an awkward spot himself with Delight there, but not going to continue following on that. So, bit of a skirmish there. We already saw what happened down in the bottom lane. Just more wins for Viper, who's just getting free farm and is 30 CS ahead of his opponent. Duro, though, is in the top lane, going to flash in and, well, just kind of run around a little bit, as now Delight's in a lot of trouble, or rather, Delight is totally fine, as the ult comes in, and finally, the closer will be able to take him down, but it's 2 kills to the side of Peanut, make it 3, a triple kill for Ivern underneath the top turret. Meanwhile, Viper's just solo farming.
Yeah, he's just chilling. To be more relevant later, Zeka is also trying to grab an additional plate here. Won't be able to, even with the cannon minion, as they do see the rotation coming up of Henna.
About really doing much at all except farming.
Well, especially when you consider Peanuts at 100% KP and has also just been kind of relieving some of the pressure down there. Not that there was really any to begin with, but yeah, dividing them. I mean, Delight's had a fantastic game. Maybe the Herald going over to Hanwha Life. This one's pretty much locked up. I mean, I feel like if you're BNK, you don't want to, but you're probably starting to think about the T1 series, because this one just does not look like it's going to be it. 30 CS behind is not an acceptable scoreline for this draft. And
where you put on more pressure, and they kind of didn't either, right? Like, they're not going to scale as well with Kai'Sa. They're not going to put on pressure with this, and it just kind of sits there and doesn't do as well. Meanwhile, Zeka is barely going to live against the turret. At the end of the day, like, he doesn't really lose much except some melee minions. He doesn't need to be the carry. Like, he just needs to not die and just be present in the team fights.
He just is able to be down here and say, oh, so if no one, you know, eventually Clear will have to kill those minions. I'll lose some, but like my whole team is on Dragon. If anyone comes down here, we just collapse on them, and you know, I'm just chilling.
Go for the guild people for like 500.
You should get the Dawn Core this game, I feel like, with how this is going.
Yeah. Gonna get a sleep here on the Delight, but remember that this is, yeah, he's got an Ivern nearby. The heal does come in, and Delight is finally maybe gonna go down, but only after the trade onto closer, and Henna's just alone in a 1v2 against, well, actually a 1v3 as Daisy is also helping out. Doran finally gets his time to shine, and this is just gonna be a clean ace to the side of Hanwha Life Esports, as easy as you'd like, unless Clear somehow, very nice dodge there actually, might be able to get away, and that he will. And, yeah, even Daisy's getting in on the action. Will she die? Clear, desperate.
Way faster. Peanut is just putting brushes up, and let's see. Give it your best shot, BNK.
How are you going to engage onto this?
You can't.
I mean, they need to get somebody in those brushes. They need to get some amount of vision, and they just don't have any. As the Baron is getting pretty low, they are thinking about a turn. Look at the damage that Viper's doing on the right side. Everybody on the side of BNK has to back away, and they just had the Baron leash the entire time. They take it down before 21 minutes into the game.
Kills would have been on other champions, and then they'd be even further ahead, but he's going to use the gold to get that 2-item spike, and they're going to take out this inner. Clear's in trouble.
Yeah. Clear's been doing a good job of not dying, but he's just going to collapse. All of that stress is Peanut just tanked 3 turret shots without realizing. Maybe just for fun, you know?
No,
Peanut.
Keep those minions alive, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's some validity to that, actually. You know, get in, tank it up, keep that wave alive. And they didn't quite do it this time, though, so kind of funny. Still going to hit the turret, and they still have enough damage. And Viper still hasn't died, so he's holding on to that Smolder perfect KDA in the LCK. And that's just a ridiculous number. Not a very high kill participation in this game, but he had some happy gaming all the time. And you and I are just the biggest Shojin's haters. Yes. Like, I don't know why, but it always just ends up that way. Yeah, he's just not going to be touchable, I think, in this game. Ocean Drake does go for free over to Hanwha Life Esports. It is over 10,000 gold to lead into Hanwha Life Esports, and Hanwha Life are just a better version of BNK, I feel like, in many different ways.
Yeah, for sure. Doran going in.
Uh-oh. All right, Clear. It's going to be okay, and Doran is extremely tanky, and he's got shields as well. As Mom going to help out a little bit with that. Actually, a lot of it, as in goes Viper, and he's looking for a bit more. He's got a gigantic shields with the barrier and the Ivern, and you're just not even going to chip away at his health bar at this point.
I mean, they could just basically end. I mean, they have this wave here, Cannon Minion working on these Nexus turrets, Doran just keeping everyone at bay.
Yeah, they don't want to end because they want to have some fun and maybe get a Penta for Viper. It's not going to happen. as the first kill goes to Zeka. Probably the rest of them will go to Viper, though. No, a double kill for Zeka, actually, as he really wants to deny the Smolder from getting any more kills in this one. It is a battle between mid and AD carry to see who is the best of the AD carries. And this time around, I guess it's Zeka, but it doesn't really matter. The game is over. 24 minutes, and Hanwha Life Esports ends BNK. They put them out of their misery, and that is one of the cleanest 2-0s we've had all season.
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.